number 1 is they set systems over goals. And honestly, this is like the foundation of everything, because you can have all the motivation in the world, but if you don't have the systems, you're going to keep starting over every single Monday. James Clear talks about this in the book Atomic Habits. You don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. Every January, I would write down these huge goals to lose a bunch of weight or to save a bunch of money or completely transform my life. And then February would roll around and I'd already quit. I genuinely thought I just wasn't disciplined enough. But the problem wasn't discipline. I had all these goals and I had zero systems to actually support them. And maybe you've been there too. You've had the same goals year after year and you keep wondering, why is nothing sticking? It's not you, it's just that goals without systems, they just don't work. Systems beat motivation every single time. So this week, pick one area of your life and systematize it. For me, it's my grocery list. I have it just saved so that I'm not wondering every week what to order. Or maybe for you, it's something with your morning routine or how you plan your work week or your finances. Habit number 2 is they set boundaries. Successful women protect their peace emotionally and mentally. And this changed everything for me. They're not available for everything and everyone. They've learned that saying yes to everyone constantly means they're saying no to themselves. And they don't apologize for protecting their peace. They don't over-explain why they can't do something. They just say no to what doesn't align for them and they say yes to what matters. And the right people, they understand. The ones who don't, that also tells you something. So this week, try setting one boundary, like that doesn't work for me, or I can't commit to that right now, or just no as a complete sentence. And when the guilt comes up, because it will, remind yourself, no to them is saying yes to you. Habit number 3 is they treat failure as feedback. So a few months ago, I saw Stephen Bartlett live. He's the founder of A Diary of a CEO, and he said something that completely changed how I see failure. He hired a head of failure at his company, a woman named Grace Miller. And her job is basically to help the company fail faster, because the faster you fail, the faster you learn. See, failure isn't something they avoid, it's something they reward. It's just data, and that's what successful women do. When something doesn't work, they don't spiral into thinking I'm not good enough or I should just give up. They ask, okay, what can I learn from this? What do I need to adjust? They've learned to separate what happened from who they are. Failure isn't a reflection of their worth, it's just information. I'm not saying that failure doesn't hurt, it does, and it actually sucks. But the difference is how long you stay in it. The longer you keep replaying it, what went wrong, the more your brain cements that as your identity. But when you treat it as feedback, you get to decide what that means for you. So next time something doesn't go as planned, just pause and ask yourself, what's the lesson here? What can I adjust? Give yourself the grace, but don't let it become your story. It's just collecting data and that's it. Habit number 4 is they act before they're ready. You know, when you have something you want to do, like posting online or starting the business or making some big move, but you keep telling yourself you'll do it when you're ready, when you feel more confident or more prepared or more experienced. I have been there so many times, and this is what I've realized. We're waiting for a feeling that's never actually really going to come. And successful women have figured something out. You're never going to feel ready, and they're okay with that. Readiness sometimes is just something we make up to protect ourselves from the actual discomfort of trying. But confidence doesn't come before action, it comes after. And there's actually research from behavioral psychology showing that action precedes motivation, not the other way around. When you take action, even small action, your brain starts engaging in momentum, and this momentum builds. And look, it's gonna be scary. You're still gonna doubt yourself, but they've learned that messy action beats perfect inaction every single time. So this week, do one thing before you feel ready. Post something, even if it's not perfect. Share your work, even if it feels scary. Make the call, send the email. You don't need to feel confident first. Your confidence will actually build with every step. You can become ready by doing it, not by waiting. Habit number 5 is choosing million-dollar decisions over broke-ass decisions. This is from Rachel Rodgers' book, We Should All Be Millionaires, and it completely changed how I think about how I make my decisions. So this is for anyone who's ever made a decision that left them feeling stuck or depleted or just resentful. I'm looking at you, and trust me, I have been there so many times. I used to say yes to things I absolutely didn't want to do and stay in situations that drained me and made choices based on what I thought I should do instead of actually what I wanted. So here's what Rachel Rodgers teaches, and it's so simple, but it changed everything for me, and it was that every decision you make falls into one or two categories. A broke-ass decision, it makes you feel stuck, trapped, trapped, stressed, or depleted. $1 million decision brings you peace, power, joy, or it creates more options in your life. And when she said that, I started looking around at my own decisions differently. Like, how many times was I choosing things that kept me small? And I'm not saying that every decision needs to be perfect. You're going to make choices that sometimes you regret, but successful women pause before they decide and they ask themselves, is this going to make me feel free or is this going to make me feel stuck? So next time you're about to say yes to something, ask yourself, am I saying yes because I want to or because I think that I should? Habit number 6 is they invest in themselves first. So many of us have been taught to save every penny and to be very responsible. Don't spend on yourself. Sometimes we skip the course that we actually need, or we don't hire the help that we really need around our house, or we buy cheaper versions of things that don't work, and we put everyone and everything else before us. But then we just stay stuck in the same patterns in the cycle, and we wonder why it's not changing or why we're not growing. And here's what I started to see with successful women. They invest in themselves. They see themselves as their greatest asset. So they invest in things like coaching, therapy, courses, the help they need. And this doesn't always have to be around investing money. It could be about investing time in your growth, investing in things that give back to you, in your healing, in your skills. When you start doing that, everything starts to shift and your income will grow and your confidence will grow and your life will expand. I'm definitely not saying to go into debt or spend money you don't have, but they have learned that investing in yourself is actually one of the smartest things that you could do. Right now, ask yourself, what's one way I could invest in myself this month? Maybe it's a course that you've been putting off, or maybe it's therapy, or maybe it's hiring help. And you don't need to wait for the perfect time or to have more money to do this. You could find the free ways to invest in yourself because you are worth that investment. Habit number 7 is they treat their energy like currency. If there's one thing about successful women, it's that they have learned to protect their time and energy like it's the most valuable thing that they have. They pay attention to what they're consuming, not just food, the content that they scroll, the people they spend time with, the environments they put themselves in. They know what fills them up and what drains them. And if that sounds like a lot or like you have to overthink everything, I definitely get that. But I'll be honest, what's actually draining is when we don't pay attention. Like if you spend hours scrolling and feel worse about yourself and don't know why, or when you give your time to people who leave you feeling empty and then you have nothing left for what actually matters to you. Time is the one thing that we can't get back. And successful women really understand that. It shifts how they want to spend their time. So this week, just start paying attention. After you spend time with someone, do you feel lighter or heavier? After you scroll, how do you feel? Make one small change or cut one small thing that's draining you. Start with protecting your energy. I know changing habits isn't always easy. There are going to be days where it feels hard, where you can't fully show up, and that's okay. But here's what I want for you. I want you to look back 6 months from now and realize you actually became that woman, that top 1% woman, that confident woman, the one that's creating the life that she deserves. And it all just starts with one small step today. So pick one habit from this video, just one, and start there. And let me know in the comments which habit that you are choosing.